Space Shuttle, this is flight safety. Keep your hands on the handrail or inside the vehicle and remain seated while in motion. You are clear for launch. Have a great flight to Starport 75.
Hey, Glenn.
Hey, Chris. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Good. Seems like another long gap since we did this. Is that just have I just been busy, or has it been a while? How long's it been?
It's been a little bit of time, but we just released our last episode last Monday, so it's not.
No,
we're still on a.
It's one of my favorites.
Weekly to bi-weekly schedule.
Okay. All right. Good. I want to make sure that people don't forget about us. So.
Oh, I hope not.
You know, these Disney folk, they're very fickle.
I know.
Like, oh, what's that over there? And then so you can't get them back. So
that's right.
Gotta make sure we putting out good content for them.
Yep.
Or what we usually do. You know, whatever. So it's a little joke.
Yes.
All right. But what's this? This is a news show, right? Do we have any news to talk about? Is there anything that's happened? Any announcements or anything that have come up recently?
Well, funny you should mention that. Yes.
Lots the show.
Happened.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's hear about it.
All right. So the big news was announced a couple days ago. And the first thing I did was sent you a text with a link to it because I was like, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. So the big news a couple days ago was that a couple things are going to happen at Epcot. One is what was the Wonders of Life Pavilion is now, it became the Festival Center or whatever, will now become a new pavilion called the Play Pavilion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you.
Which that's cool because that's just been sitting there for many years now, and
it's sad.
It's very sad. You have a perfectly good building there. Why not use it for something?
Well, reports are that it may not be perfectly good. I guess.
Some
ceiling issues and things.
Or
right?
I know. And that came to my mind too. That the last things I read was they were redoing the roof, but it's still leaking or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
anyway,
they'll figure it out.
Whatever. They have plenty of time.
Little duct tape. You know what they should use? You ever see those infomercials where they make a boat out of that tape?
Yes.
It's like waterproof. They should use that stuff. I don't remember what it's called.
I need some of that stuff. Yeah.
for your Wonders of Life Pavilion.
Right.
Yeah. So they get what does that mean, Glenn? It's going to be a play area. Does that just mean like a jungle gym inside, or what does that mean?
Well, that's what we're trying to figure out. But I've read a couple articles, and one of them was that the thought is that it's going to be almost a, let's say workspace for attractions that Imagineering has come up with, but weren't able to fully realize because of it wouldn't be able to scale up, or it wouldn't be as popular.
So a little sandbox for them. Something they can kind of try ideas out on.
Thank you. Sandbox. That's it.
You're welcome.
And so that's and I think that's probably, I could see that being the case.
Okay.
So from the concept art and everything, it looks like it is going to be a lot like the internet in Wreck-It Ralph 2.
Yeah, it's amazing how maybe it's just timing of when it was announced and kind of that movie coming out, but it is kind of interesting how closely tied to that it is. Which kind of makes sense. I think we talked about that movie before, and like how amazing, how many properties, so to speak, they own in that. When they start looking over all the little franchises of content. So there's a lot they could do with that.
A lot, yeah.
But the concept art doesn't really kind of, at least for me, I look, it looks cool. Love the blues and the purples and whatever, but I don't really get a good sense of what people would do in this thing. Like they show a lot of happy people. They show like a little stage show kind of going on, which is interesting, like a little audience area with a little show.
Yeah.
And almost like these little themed rooms, little areas maybe.
Yeah.
One says hotel. I'm going to just, skip by that one. But yeah, some other things, cinema, some very city things.
Yeah. So if you remember the Wonders of Life Pavilion, it had Body Wars, it had Cranium Command, it had a theater in the middle that held both a comedy show as well as the story of me on the other side. There was a restaurant. So there are like offshoots of this building where they can just have basically an entry facade, and then you go in, and then so it seems like they have a lot of room to work with. You know, so they could have just like a bunch of facades in a certain theme, and then you go in to each one, almost like a mall.
Right.
Maybe, you know,
kids today don't know what that is, but
I know.
ask your parents' kids what a mall is.
So what's interesting though is, and what kind of lends to you know, the idea that this might be a Imagineering sandbox is some of the characters they use in the concept art, and I'll link this in the show notes. But it's from, you know, movies that don't really, like, I'm looking at one. It's Marie, I think it is, from the Aristocats. She's up there, and then you have Edna Mode on the far left end. And then
I didn't realize that's who that was. Okay,
yeah, and then you have Joy from what's that movie?
From Inside Out.
Inside Out. Thank you. And so she's up there too. So they're movies that really don't have attractions, except for Edna Mode. I know Incredibles, but still, they're not the blockbuster movies that would warrant their own attraction generally. So I think that probably will be the case. And we'll get into it in just a second with the other bit of news that was announced for Epcot that I'm, you know, looking at the concept art.
The more important news. Yes.
Right. But I, you know, like Interventions, where it was designed to be, you know, somewhat temporary attractions that are rotated out. I think that's what this is going to be. They'll put something in here for a while, see how it does, and then they can rotate it out based on new movies that are coming out or older movies that they want to mine for some IP or, you know, new attraction ideas. So I think it's an interesting concept. It's something Disney hasn't really done before.
Right.
So anything new like this
within these areas. I guess they kind of have that now, like you're saying with the intervention stuff. I also think it kind of feels a little like the what's the play area in Journey to Imagination, where you have like those little, thanks, ImageWorks. It's late, people. Where you have sort of like a collection of different things, and you know. Yeah. Kind of smaller but interesting things to do and play with. So
and it's another place for, you know, I'm not going to say it's completely targeted to kids, but I think it looks very kid friendly, and especially in Epcot, where, you know, it's right next door will be a big roller coaster, and then you have Mission Space, and then the test track. So it's something on that side where maybe the teens or the grown-ups can go do other things, but the kids can have some fun, you know. So I think
which I never really realized until I had kids that, you know, were younger, but Epcot really needs more of that. Yeah. Because there isn't a ton for them compared to other parks or whatever. So it's, you know, that's good. Okay. Yeah. Looks interesting. It's nice they're going to make use of that space, and I guess based on the concept art, you know, the whole dome becomes like maybe a sky kind of thing. Yeah, it's kind of cool as long as it doesn't leak. Yeah, it's gonna be that's gonna become. It's so funny how it's gonna go from such a dead part of the park where like almost nobody went except for festival stuff. Yeah. To, you know, probably the center of a lot of activity. So
yeah, especially with the new roller coaster right next door, and then that, and then attached to Mission Space will be the new space themed restaurant.
Right. That's still a go. For some reason, I had that in my head that was.
They're building it out right now. They're starting to, you know.
Oh, really?
You can see the construction. Well, I assume, I haven't been there in a while. I'm going off reports, but I think we might have an eyewitness account in another episode.
Huh. Well, spoilers. I didn't make it to that side of the park, so I didn't really see anything over there. So. Okay. Oh, cool. Exciting. There's so much Epcot talk, which, you know how I am about my Epcot, and you know, it'll never be as great as it was. But, you know, gosh darn it, I'm glad it's getting a little They still can't quite figure out what it is. I guess it's futury, spacey, internet-y, computer-y kind of park is what they're going for. But based on this,
pretty much with Guardians of the Galaxy
with Marvel characters when we can.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
Yeah,
I mean, who cares? Well, anyway,
it's going to be great, Glenn.
It's going to be
great.
Okay. And this was all, we've gone through the cycle where Magic Kingdom was first with New Fantasyland, then Animal Kingdom with Avatar Land or whatever, Pandora, and then right now with Hollywood Studios finishing up. We'll see Galaxy's Edge and the new Mickey ride open this year, and then Epcot's next in line, and so we're seeing the Guardians of the Galaxy roller coaster, Ratatouille going in France. They had a lot of concept art for Future World, but they didn't really announce anything. So this is very nice.
It is just a pity that the front of the park is still such a wasteland that it is. But
well, what front of the park are you talking about? The very front?
Yeah, the very front Epcot. With
really?
the tombstones and stuff. Oh, I can't stand what they. And I still miss my lucite fountain, and
I know, right?
Yeah, just
well, you're gonna love this next bit of news.
How's that? Why is that?
Because the other thing they announced was they are going to completely redo the front entrance.
Quiet. Really?
Yeah.
What are they going to do? More tombstones? Bigger tombstones?
Yeah. So all those tombstones are going away.
And do other people call them that, or is that just me?
Everybody calls them that.
Do they really?
I watched
feel like I made that
vlog today, and they said, "Oh yeah, well, these tombstones are going to go away."
Everybody calls them tombstones. I felt like I made that up, but I guess not. I saw something that somebody referenced. They called it. What do they say? It's going to change from its current war memorial look to. And I'm like, I never considered that, but yeah, it's exactly what it feels like a war memorial. Wow, I'm so excited about this news. You sent me this. I'm like, I couldn't even focus the rest of my day on work. It was just so exciting. So
one of the most
what's happening?
One of the best things is that the lucite fountain from the 80s. It's coming back in a form. It's not going to be the exact same.
Yeah, I was going to say, but in their concept art, it looks darn like it, right?
It looks very close to it, and I would imagine it's not going to be far off from it.
Yeah, my guess is they'll make it kind of shaped the same, maybe some new kind of materials. Like I could see it being like aluminum, but same shape, but sort of aluminum something or other, something that's easier to maintain.
I could see that.
Yeah, with some cool lighting and stuff on it, because it's still. I always rant, but and I'll talk about my trip later. But even when we went in this week, you look at that fountain, it's just so clearly there's something missing in the middle. Put anything there almost. It's like how did they not it's like they just forgot to install something.
That's exactly it. And quite honestly, after they redid it, I was honestly waiting for that. It's like, oh wait,
well, you're still waiting. How many years later?
Yeah, it's been
18 years later
or whatever. Yeah, so
yeah, it'll happen someday.
So all the tombstones go away. The Leave a Legacy.
Have you seen? Wait, before
metal.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So the Leave a Legacy though will still have a legacy. So they're being moved to outside the park.
Outside of the park.
Yeah.
Any specific?
No idea. I imagine they'll be over on the side. I'm gonna get my directions mixed up, but I think it would actually be the east side.
Yeah, because it's all upside down.
So the right. So the opposite of the bus, and tram drop off. The other
you
side.
Still think out front, just almost truly a war memorial. Go over there and pay your
that's
respects.
That's what I'm.
The 2000s. Oh, okay.
If I was a betting man, that's what I would bet on.
Yeah, I don't know why, but almost I kind of felt like they might have done something over. I don't even know what it's called. Over by UK. There's that building that they use occasionally for stuff. They open up those gates. I could see them just having a walkway, a little garden area. You go in and they're kind of back. I don't know why I kind of thought maybe back there somewhere. But your thing makes more sense. Just kind of off the side, in the front somewhere. Which is I guess I don't know. You bought one of those. You were part of the problem, and you funded that.
I was,
Do you would you be upset if they just went away? Why?
No, it's been there long enough.
Almost 20 years. I mean,
I'd be more upset if my brick was taken away.
Yeah, which they only promised those for 10, I think, right? 10 years, right?
Something like that. Yeah, we're way past that.
Yep.
Coming up on almost 25 years, really.
Wow. They replace those if they break and stuff, right? The bricks, not the.
They replace them with blank ones.
Really?
Yeah, they don't redo because they're past that window. They're like,
Yeah. No, I thought they were still doing it for some reason.
Yeah. Can you imagine how much money they would make now? Like they sold well way back when, but now
and they were what $100 or so.
Like I think it was 125.
Yeah,
or
that's what I
150,
remember,
something
too.
like that.
Yeah, I have one too.
They would. I mean, today, like, oh my god, people were with. They could charge $500 and they would still sell.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the bigger, fancier ones at like the entrance were like $250 or something.
They did it. Yeah, they did actually have a different scale for
the granite
some.
ones.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so excited for that. Because it's the one thing. I mean, the changes they made for that for the year 2000 were just and putting the 2000 at least the 2000 thing came down relatively quickly. But it's just like every time I'd go to Epcot, I'm like, how do they not look at this and go, we really need to do something about this? So it's so exciting.
But that wand was up there for like 7 years though.
Was it that long?
Years. Yeah, man.
I think I've just shoved it out of my head because I hated it so much.
Exactly. I would try to take pictures of it. I think everybody tried to take pictures of Spaceship Earth on the what is West. Truly West.
Why do you keep trying this?
I know. So that you would avoid having the wand. Because I'm actually going through my pictures right now in Lightroom, and I'm looking at. I'm like, God, I really did try not to take a get that in
hard.
the picture.
It was hard. It was kind of prominent.
Oh my goodness, yeah. But you knew where you were.
Well, yeah. Well, you knew when you weren't.
When, and then, yeah. Well, right, because it lasted through like 2001.
I didn't like in my head for some reason. I think it was 2 years or 3 years that they took that down, but I guess not.
No. It was. I'll tell you exactly when it was. It was 2007 because it's when they were taking it down when I
Is that right?
moved away. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. It's not at all how I remember it, but I trust your Rain Man like. Attention to detail.
Yeah. So the other thing I wanted to point out in the concept art, which kind of it kind of backs up some of the earlier concept art that what is now the Innovations buildings will be torn down.
Didn't we know that already, though?
Well, yeah. So that was what was shown in the original concept art,
right?
But then people said, oh no, they're not going to. Or there were reports that they're not going to go to that length. They're just going to leave them up and put some. But this one, if you look at the concept art, there are no Innovations buildings. You can see all the pavilions, but there's no Innovations buildings. It's just greenery. So. Okay. So that's pretty cool too.
It's so weird because I love the Epcot of the past so much, but I'm totally on board, and it seems like it should be the opposite. But I am almost totally on board with them. This sounds too extreme, but practically gutting the park a bit to do a gigantic makeover. I think because right now it's in this middle ground where. It still is like it used to be, kind of, but really isn't, and it just reminds me. And so, like, if they can make something new that really isn't a reflection of what it was before, but just a new good park, then I think I'm all for that. I'm like, okay, those buildings are looking a little bit old, so okay. Is that heresy or is that
no,
is that
not
sensible?
at all. I mean, for me, no, I agree because once they switched from Communicore to Innovations, I gave up on them.
Oh, really? Was that name change?
I mean, other than Mouse Gear, like, do you ever go into the Innovations buildings?
Only a couple of times, and like I just happened on that Glidden Color Your World thing, which I actually thought was pretty cool.
Kind of cool,
I'm sorry.
It's cool. It's very cool.
Okay. So, but no, you're right. It's usually just a pass through to go through those gates to other places.
And so, what those buildings do today is you can't see the pavilions beyond them. And so, if you take those down and you have a clear view and you make it more wide open,
right?
It just makes it, and you have more greenery and trees. You plant trees, and people can. They can just relax.
It's still very much a park of sort of the 80s vision of the future, which is like no trees, like just a lot of concrete and buildings and whatever. But if we had more of a more modern view of futuristic, where we sort of embrace naturalness along with the technology and stuff. You get those to merge a little bit. Yeah, I'm
like
totally for it.
Campus.
Yeah, very much so. I know you're just baiting me, but very much like the Apple campus, where you have that sort of mixture. And I think because as much as I love Epcot, like that entranceway with the weird triangle shady things that fly overhead, it feels like it's so due for a time.
I hate those
for a change. Have you mentioned that before? I think you have.
I probably have.
See, those don't bother. I actually don't mind those. Like they don't bug me like the tombstones and the 2000 thing over
It all does because it all brings me back to the. I don't.
It was all part of the same makeover, right?
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I don't know. Those don't bother, but that whole area it's just such a bleh. The only thing they can't touch is and almost everybody has mentioned this. They can't touch the fiber optics in the concrete.
No.
That has to stay.
That's gotta stay.
That's just
that's pretty cool. In fact, that needs to expand.
Quite honestly. I was just about to say that. Yeah, totally agree. Like
like put it.
Although we got to be careful because then they'll make it so like they'll go over the top with it and it'll be like start advertising merchandise and stuff. So.
Yeah. But think about the day that you'll walk into Epcot and you'll just see beautiful trees and planters, and there's a fountain there, the Lucite fountain, whatever we call it, Lucite fountain, and think of the photos you'll be able to get of Spaceship Earth, and won't that be nice?
Why do I feel you're baiting me on something?
I'm absolutely not. I'm looking at the concept art while we're talking, and I cannot wait for that day.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's because it's so horrid now. I mean, I hate to complain about what it is, but it's like it doesn't even fit like the color scheme and the browns and whatever of the tombstones and the incomplete fountain. They should at least put like a living statue in the middle of that fountain, don't you think? Like they could put one of those people up there.
I mean, it'd be better than nothing.
It just doesn't go.
And the off center plaque saying where all the pennies are donated to Make a Wish.
Is it off center?
It is off center by like 2 inches.
Only you would be.
No, I think you've actually mentioned it too.
Really, it might have been while I was trying to take a picture.
I think
I'm like, hey, this thing doesn't line up.
Because there's like a line in the concrete,
okay.
You know exactly where the center is. You put your camera there, and it's like 2 or 3 inches over to the right.
Why did you tell me this? No, that's all I'm going to see.
It drives me bonkers. It's like, you can't get that centered?
So, you know what? The next time, be part of the solution. Bring a screwdriver and a drill.
Like, put it on the opposite side, for goodness sake. Like, why do you have to have it right there?
It seems like they just mailed in that whole update there. It's just I don't know, put some big rocks and stuff. And plus the other thing is like, that clearly was such a failure. That thing that you funded, the what is it? leave a legacy thing.
Yeah.
Because like even my 7-year-old noticed when because he doesn't know anything about it. He wasn't even born when that stuff happened. He's like, why are there so many blank areas? And I'm like, well, son, let me explain it to you. Because it was a dumb idea that not enough people would pay for, and that's why. So to me, it's just a testament to the failure of the whole thing, just to have it keep reminding like all those areas that never filled in.
Yeah, it just needs to go. It's beyond its time.
So so it is going to go. I couldn't believe it was like Christmas came, very very early this year when I saw that. I'm like, I can't believe this. Like, this is great. But when do we get to open this present? When does that happen?
Well, so that's the key, right? Is from now on, Disney will pretty much never, ever, ever announce an opening date or even opening year for anything that they do.
Yeah. I saw you post this in the rundown, but the logic escaped me. So explain that to me.
Well, because of Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
So what happened with that is they announced it 4 years ago that they were going to be building the Star Wars land. And so what has happened, what they found in the last couple of years is that people are literally not going to Disney World. They're holding off until it opens because they know exactly when it's going to open. By leaving the opening dates off, then people are like, oh, well, and not just that, they're trying to stagger the openings so that if somebody goes, they might not have the main entrance done, but Guardians of the Galaxy will be open. So there will be new things, but they're not going to flip a switch and say, okay, it's all open for us.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
But how do you do something as big as Galaxy's Edge and not have... And they didn't announce the dates from the beginning, right? I mean, they've sort of narrowed in on it as we went, haven't they?
No. They pretty much said 2019.
From the very beginning?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
they didn't say that... They said 2019, but they didn't say, okay, until last year, they didn't say...
what part of the year, what month?
Summer and fall for Disneyland and Walt Disney World. So,
right.
But yeah,
so
2019
what would they do
has been out there.
How do you do that big of a project though? And I mean, it's not like nobody would notice. Like
you just don't say what year you're going to open. Just
but people
do
can
it.
Ask. I mean, what do you say?
Like I don't know. The new Fantasyland, they didn't announce the year it was going to open. It was just like until it got closer, and so nobody, it didn't have an effect.
I mean,
on
people will guess though, won't they? I mean, they're like,
not 4 years. You think? I never would have guessed it was going to take 4 years to build that.
Okay. Must just be my innate good sense of construction requirements.
I guess.
I don't know. I guess
they built all of Disneyland in 6 months. So, like, mine's way off.
Wait, is that right?
Yeah, man.
Like literally 6 months?
No. It was under a year.
Okay. All right. That fits more.
But still,
okay.
A year to build all of Disneyland?
Yeah, but don't you remember the...
I know they're literally going up to the last moment.
And like the asphalt wasn't... it was like melting under the feet of the people and stuff. Don't you remember when we were there and that happened?
I do remember that.
We are that old. Okay. I guess. I don't know how big. I guess. I still don't necessarily agree, but I hear it. Staggering the stuff definitely makes sense because then there's no one big, and it seems like operationally that'd be better for them too, so that they don't have just nothing, boom, like we're gonna have with Star Wars. So
right.
Okay. Well, cool. So we'll get it whenever Epcot Christmas comes.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
This episode is sponsored by ParkLeap. Do you hate waiting in lines for your favorite rides at Disney World, Universal, and Disneyland? Of course you do. Everyone does. ParkLeap tracks current wait times for attractions in real time, analyzes them, and gives you immediate guidance on what to ride now and what to skip for a shorter wait later on. ParkLeap saves you time so you can do more, see more, and ride more. Many theme parks provide their own apps, which is great, but they only report the times. You only get information, you don't get guidance. Is that 40-minute wait good or bad? ParkLeap can tell you. ParkLeap also includes an interface that is clean, quick, and easy to use. Many vacationers travel to multiple theme parks. Now one app does it all. Whether you're a local resident, an annual pass holder, or travel great lengths once a year or every few years, you want to make the most of your time and money. This is the app to get to help you do that. Get ParkLeap in the Apple App Store. And thank you to ParkLeap for sponsoring Starport 75. All right, so the other thing I wanted to mention is the exact same day that this news came out, and it was Thursday, February 21st. At almost the exact same time. In fact, there are people that I follow on Twitter that there's a debate on actually who announced first. Because the emails that they received became within the same minute. So, and when it was announced on Twitter, it's almost exactly the same moment. So it's really weird. There was some kind of, I don't think coordination, but somebody got tipped off at one or the other and push the button and let everybody know. So at Universal, they are what used to be originally the Dueling Dragons roller coaster, and then the Dragon Challenge when it became Hogsmeade for the Harry Potter. In Islands of Adventure, they tore down the old roller coaster and they're building a new roller coaster, and they announced that it's going to open this year on June 19th.
Wow, it's pretty soon.
June 13th, I'm sorry.
Okay.
So they gave an exact date for
it's a much smaller announcement, but okay.
Yeah, but it's huge. It's
explain
a pretty
because you're saying words to me I don't know, like Harry Potter, Universal, Hogsmeade. So why is this a huge deal?
Well, it's a huge deal because it's another addition to the Harry Potter land at Universal, which is, a huge draw.
It's a big deal for
them.
Sure.
And it's not, we've seen this trend of roller coasters that are, let's say, storytelling roller coasters, like the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, even the new, what is it, the Toy Story, the Slinky Dog Dash or whatever,
right?
Where they're milder coasters, and they tell a story. And so this is called Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure. And so it replaces the old roller coaster that was there. And I've seen the concept video of it.
That there's a concept
all the
video?
way through it.
Oh,
what's
cool.
that?
There's a concept video? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And it is it's pretty fun. It seems like there are fast parts during the roller coaster ride, but there's no loops. There's not, it's a gentle track. It's definitely not a lot of ups or downs. It's more around and around. You do go backwards for a little bit, and there is one other trick that it does. But it looks really cool.
Yeah, I got to make it over there more.
You do.
Yeah. It's just, what's weird is like, and this is part of the problem with being a local maybe, is like, I hate that part of Orlando, like that whole Kirkman Road kind of area. And so I feel something like, but I need to go over there, get myself into the park.
Yeah. I used to live around there, and it was bad then. It was touristy then, but now it's unrecognizable. It's definitely, it's crazy over there.
Yeah, but they've done tons of work on I-4 over there, which has really drastically improved that. And so
has it really?
Yeah. It's because it's all starting to finally come together. All the new exits and overpasses and things, and so it's much nicer. Yeah.
Very cool.
So I need to head over there. And so someday we'll do a segment. Maybe Chris goes to a competing park.
Yeah, that would be cool. I would love to have that.
You got to do some new theme music.
Yeah.
But what part of it is? I think I've said it before, but like we have, like the annual cost of annual passes to Disney are just built into my head. It's like
sure.
Just paying my taxes, and in fact, I just renewed them, and so we don't even like think about what the actual cost to go to Disney is as first world as that sounds, just because that was one of the main reasons that we moved down here. So it's just like, okay, we just expect we're gonna pay it. But then, I look at like what, so like almost like a real person, I look at what it would cost to go to Universal. I'm like, man, this stuff's expensive. Like, does anybody know this?
Yeah.
So it's a little harder bite. All right, cool. What else you got? Other news? Anything else?
Well, the only thing is, there's a new 270-acre solar facility that's now online. I think we talked about this before.
Yep.
When they were announcing it and first starting to build it, but apparently it's built now, and it is pumping out some megawatts.
It is built, and I particularly like following this because I see this. This is right off of 429, which is right between my house. It's basically the route I go to and from to go to Disney. So I've sort of seen this go through its stages. And it's impressive enough to read about it and see photos of it, but boy, driving past it, it is a lot of panels, man. And it's just so smart of Disney to do this, because I was thinking this is, as I saw the story come out, and I think the big news is not only that these are online, but that they're actually and they're not directly powering. It's a whole bunch of putting power back into the grid and offsetting costs and all that, but they're generating enough electricity to run 2 of the 4 parks, right?
Yeah. That's pretty impressive.
Very impressive. And even though I've seen them and there's tons of them, it still looks like really you can get enough energy out of that. But it makes so much sense, because this is like prime real estate. It's right off of 429, which is like this new corridor heading to the parks. So even if, what am I trying to say? They get benefit of, hey, we're green. They get benefit of whatever, electricity is sending back. But I'm assuming they bought this land, or at least, anyway, my point is, the land is going to become more valuable over time. So it's almost like, the solar farm is paying to own this land that eventually is theirs to do other stuff with. I don't know, just smart from every angle. So,
well, I mean, this is on Disney property, right?
Is it? I can't really, because I don't know where I haven't looked at the map to see. I didn't realize Disney property butted right up against 429 like that. But
it goes across 429.
I knew at that one part near the western part. I didn't know how far up that actually went.
Yeah. Okay. They own all of that.
Oh, okay. Well,
everything that's not built on, that's pretty much all Disney property.
Well, there's other stuff though, because I mean, there's already land kind of set aside for new schools and things up that way. So I mean, it's not all theirs. I'd have to see.
It's not, but the vast majority is.
Huh. Okay. Well, still smart of them. They got the land. Yep. Put some panels on it, and
absolutely. I mean, they have. That's the thing. They have a ton of land, and it's a great use of that land. Why not? I mean, if you're not going to do anything else with it.
Okay, so I'm looking at this land. Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. So this land, I'm so thrown off by driving it. So this is basically due west of the Magnolia Golf Course and like Magic Kingdom. So it's like between that and 420. Yeah. So wow. Okay, it's closer to the core property than I realized.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, you can look at the maps, but I actually think it may be new land they have, but. Who knows how accurate this is? But anyway, it's pretty cool. It's a lot of panels, man. Yeah. So I want to go run an extension cord. I want to go plug it in and just kind of run it to my house. They'll not notice.
They won't care.
Hey, where did all those electrons go?
Right.
Cool. Well, good for them. I wonder if they keep going. Do you think their goal is to be able to do all 4 parks? Or?
Well, my guess is that they're not doing this. They're doing this to save money. Right? Mm-hmm. Over the long haul. So why wouldn't they? Like to bring down their electric costs. I mean, that's a pretty big bill, right?
Yeah. No doubt.
So why wouldn't you just take some more land you're not doing anything with and build more
you got all that
farms.
They can't, yeah. Yeah, because the big expense has to be the land cost. I mean, I'm sure the solar panels are, they cost money, they're expensive, but it can't be but it's gotta be manageable. So
sure.
Cool. Every time I drive it, I try to get like some sort of picture or video of it, but it's both dangerous and the results aren't great. So, but they're pretty cool. All right, fun new stuff happening. Any other news? Yeah. Anything else we're going with over?
No, I really don't have anything else.
I haven't bought anything recently, so I'm proud of myself. But I also don't have any pick of the week then to point to. So do you?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, so people just buy whatever you want. It's kind of the moral.
All right, tell us.
There you go.
Give us some ideas for some good stuff.
How would they do that?
Through Twitter, Starport75, or Twitter.
So Twitter,
Facebook. We have a page and a group page there. We have Facebook? What else do we have? We have Instagram, the Starport75, or us directly, DizWiz and CB Gray.
All right, tell us how to spend some money.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, see you next time, man.
All right, sounds good.
Yep, bye.
Bye. Thank you for joining us on another episode of Starport 75. Follow Chris on Twitter and Instagram at CBGray, and Glenn on Twitter and Instagram at DizWiz. Follow the show on Twitter and Facebook at Starport75 and Instagram at TheStarport75. For all things related to the show, including show notes and links to connect with us, visit us at starport75.com.